Hello and welcome to another Invalid Opinion video. Today I'm going to be reviewing Captain Marvel, and I should start out by saying that I'm not a huge, comic book fan. I do like the Marvel films, but I haven't gone out and read comic books before I've seen any of the films. So whenever I watch a comic book film, kind of really being introduced to the character for the first time. So if you read all the comics, you're gonna have a different experience, especially with this film. One other thing is that I just want to touch on the trailers, and I want to mention that I think they did a pretty good job. Nothing major was spoiled, but again, I'm not too familiar with the backstory. Now, I did watch some reviews before I went into this, and the reviews I watched really painted a pretty bad picture of the film. Almost all the reviews I saw were negative, or people didn't really enjoy it at all. So I came in with very, very low expectations, and maybe that's just what I needed to enjoy the film, because I had a pretty good time with it. Now, the film did have a couple negatives, and I'll get into them in a little bit here. But really, a lot of it was pretty good. The actors did a decent job. All the supporting characters, Samuel Jackson as Nick Fury, excellent. Jude Law as Urog also did a good job, and Ben Mendelsohn, great job as well, fantastic. And now regarding Brie Larson as Captain Marvel, this may seem a little contrary, but I thought she actually did a fine job. Now, this also might be related to my very low expectations. As I was watching the film, it was very quickly blowing my expectations of zero. She was a little stoic, but I thought she did a pretty good job with the character. She had some funny moments. A couple jokes that landed pretty well. I was definitely laughing. Nothing too bad there. Now, the film overall, it's something you might want to know going into it, just so you know what to expect. There's really not, in my eyes, I didn't see it as they're fighting a villain kind of movie. You didn't feel the threat of the villain or the presence there. I know there's a criticism a lot of other Marvel films have had. Definitely in this case as well. I'm okay with that though, as long as there's something else to keep it going. And in this case, it's more of a you're unraveling the mystery. Captain Marvel doesn't know her history, doesn't know what happened to her, and so she's just trying to figure that out, and you're along for the ride. So this is why I think if you know and you're very familiar with the story of Captain Marvel, you will enjoy the film a lot less. If you don't, and you're figuring it out along with the characters, and I thought that was pretty enjoyable. Now, I do want to cover a few of the other problems I think the film had. One is that the feminist presence. I know they were definitely going for that with this film. It was a little on the nose at times. A few times kind of just rolled your eyes at it. But it did kind of compromise, I think, at least one scene, maybe two scenes. But there's one where, they're having a song playing, there's a big moment. And I think the song choice definitely could have been better. It just didn't mesh well with what was going on, in my opinion. It kind of took me out of it. I was like, man, if they had put a different song here, I would have enjoyed the scene a lot more. And a few other small moments, just some other small moments throughout the film kind of, again, cause you to roll your eyes and detract a little bit. I think, Brie Larson herself was doing a pretty good job. They needed to kind of beat you over the head with it quite so many times. One other thing that some people might be a little annoyed with is that this film was filling in a lot of holes, in the Marvel Universe. How some names came up with, some things that happened to some characters, and just because it's doing so many, some of them might seem a little like, oh, that's it, that's the reason why that happened, or that's why this is that, why. So you might not be happy with the way everything was handled. I thought they were handled okay. Again, nothing. I don't have too much of a dog in that fight there, so I thought it was pretty well. It didn't bother me too much. And that's pretty much all I can think of for the negatives. I mean, again, some of those are pretty large negatives, and The film again is enjoyable. Nothing, really to like. Nothing's really gonna blow you away, but there are some fun moments here. Definitely a couple laughs. Nick Fury and the relationship with the cat. It was a fantastic chemistry there. And again, all the side characters did a good job. There were a couple twists that I wasn't expecting that I enjoyed. Overall, I would say the film is like a 7.8, definitely a high 7. Not quite at the 8, but close to it. I had a good time. And you should probably watch this film, especially, there's some critical information here that you want for Endgame. You do want to give it a watch. And I think that covers most of it. Just know that there isn't a huge, villain presence, that you'll enjoy the movie a lot more if you're not really super familiar with the Captain Marvel backstory. And that, it's not Infinity War or Avengers Endgame. It's more along the tiers of, Ant-Man. I think that's a pretty good comparison there. Just go in with those kind of expectations and you'll walk out happy. You'll have a good time here. Alright guys, that does it for the review. See you guys in the next one.